Good morning. Happy Thursday. Welcome to your early morning intuitive guidance. I'm Dr. Bonnie Nussbaum, here with some words of wisdom to give you things to think about and feel into and discuss with others. Please discuss with others. We need a sharing of information here and a sharing of new ideas and concepts that help us all level up. So let's give it a minute here until people start to pop in. But I hope you are having a good day. We are having it's a good day, but it is not a great air quality day. We are red on the scale, headed into purple. I've never seen that in my life. And for here, it's a function of Canadian wildfires. But yeah, wow. Not good air quality is not a good thing. I have a friend who is contractor who works getting insurance companies to pay claims on houses that have experienced water damage. And he said his view is in the next several decades, air quality within our homes is going to become a key health concern. I thought that was interesting. So, let us begin with some tapping. Good morning, Abigail. Finally someone's popping on. Glad you're here. Welcome, welcome. Let's do some tapping and some breathing. Good thing we're in the house and not outside at the moment. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Nice deep breaths, taking in life. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Another one, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Good morning, Jo Neal. We are tapping and breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. And I've picked out, Spirit has picked out an interesting juxtaposition of readings today. Our card deck is actually the Native Spirit deck again, but I do want to read a section from the Bringers of the Dawn, because driving to get Kenners. Okay, well, listen and don't close your eyes when I say to. The initial part, I think, is a deep thought part, a part to ponder and to chew on and maybe to talk to others about, people who actually have the capacity to go deep and ponder things that may be out of our realm of current life experience. Good morning, Nancy. Welcome. Glad you're here. And then I'm going to juxtapose that with the Native Spirit card, because I feel like it's good to have that balance of here's the deep part of what we need to be thinking about, feeling into, sharing with others, living up to, and then the lighter-hearted part that reminds us we've chosen to be here. We've chosen to be here. We've chosen to transmute this dark, heavy energy that's going on. And there's light to come. There's more light to come. So, take a breath. Nice deep breath in. And out. Know that we are okay. And we are going to be okay, regardless of how it looks. We just need to keep stepping forward in faith. Good morning, Gwen. Glad you're here. Good morning, good morning. My little counter still says 3, but I think it's off. So, for those of you who have the book, Bringers of the Dawn, let's start on page, let's see, I'm going to back up a few pages here. Right there it is. It's page 81. And as I begin this, notice how you feel when you hear these words. Do you get that flicker of fear, that flicker of panic? If so, take some deep breaths. Hear the rest of this, because it really is very reassuring. That would be the word I would use, reassuring. So, nice deep breath in and out. And here's our guidance for today. And then again, I'm going to go to the Native Spirit deck and read our uplifting card. And this part can be uplifting as well if you truly hear what's being said. The 3D world is headed for a collision of dimensions. Not a collision of worlds, a collision of dimensions. Many dimensions are going to come crashing into each other. Some of these dimensions may seem horrifying and very frightening. The test, the initiation, and initiation always means to move through to another reality, to conquer it and transmute it, is to be faced with these energies and entities that seemingly are of incredible darkness, and to understand that they are coming to merge with you because they are you. We are the darkness too. We've talked about shadow self, right? They are part of your multidimensional self, and you are the standard bearer, and you are light. Hear that again. You are light. We are light. Do we have shadow? Do we have darkness? Yes, but we are of the light. Darkness will come to light. Be very clear when you deal with these things. If you are hesitating about something, don't do it. Be clear. Be clear. We define light as the promoting, dispensing, and sharing of information. I thought this was a great definition of light and darkness. We define light as the promoting, dispensing, and sharing of information. Dark is the controlling and withholding of information. What are we seeing now? Lots of, yes, we are light, capital L. We're seeing lots of behavior that's controlling and withholding of information. So no wonder so many people are pushing for information, pushing for release of information. Think about this and feel it. You have come onto this planet with a coded blueprint to carry light and to bring about a huge planetary transformation. You have come to be the standard bearer of your soul, the portion of your soul that is going to lead. That portion of your soul says, I set the pace here, and the pace is light and information. No more being in the dark. Do we not see this happening all over the place? No more being in the dark. No more manipulation. No more power over. We are of the light. Have you ever thought that there are portions of yourself that are in the dark that don't know how to find the light except through you? They want the light as well. They want solutions and answers. And even when things are scary, let me give you an example. I had a reputation as a psychologist for working with people who had severe mental illness. That's what they would call it. The diagnosis was multiple personality disorder or dissociative identity disorder. Really, truly, all it was fragmented aspects of the self. Fragmented to the point that they weren't even known to the host person. Over time, the treatment was breaking down those barriers between them, making those concrete walls between aspects of the self that were unknown, turn them into maybe wooden walls that you could hear through a little bit, and then maybe into windows so you could see through a little bit, to the point where those aspects could be reintegrated into the whole. And there was one phenomenon that was very interesting that I saw over and over. There were selves that would be extremely violent toward the host, oftentimes making life-threatening attempts against the host self, believing that if they killed off the host, they would be free to live a life on this earth. And getting them to understand if they killed the host, they killed themselves. They killed the entire body. Took some time, took some effort. And there were some pretty dramatic attempts against some people, some that were very public and ended up in the local paper with it being a criminal pursuit instead of a mental health issue, which was really not good. Really not good. When the work could be done with those parts of the self that were trying to annihilate the host, for the most part, what was under there was a teenage self. A teenage self, very wounded and filled with rage. And that rage being misdirected toward the host self rather than toward the perpetrator or perpetrators, because that was too dangerous. That was way too dangerous. To be angry with your perpetrator? Yeah. So this is about information. This is about coming to understanding. This is about stripping back the layers of the darkness, finding the light beneath. It's there. It is absolutely there. But, and I'm going to use the term again, we are going to be up-leveling as we are willing to face the darkness, do the hard work, and step forward in faith, further into the light. Okay? So, let me read that part again. Have you ever thought that there are portions of yourself that are in the dark that don't know how to find the light except through you? They want the light as well. The shadow parts of yourself, which are often very young, they want the light as well. They want solutions and answers. What you may feel is not necessarily the intent of the dark force, but the emotional makeup of a dark force, the shadow side. The fear that vibrates out of lack of information. Hear those words again. The fear that vibrates out of lack of information. Good morning, Ruth Ann. Or misinformation. Or disinformation. Fear is one method through which people are controlled. So as we heal fear, people come into the light. Portions of yourself that are uninformed are going to come to you to be informed. How do you inform them? You shed the light. You share the light. You say, I intend for all of my other selves to come along on this journey and for them to get light as well. It is quite simple. Pretty powerful words. And then, as we truly are in the light, as more of our self comes into the light, we get this lovely card, Tribal Spirit Dancer. And notice the water again. We're back to water. Water as healing. Water as representing emotion. Emotions, willingness to look at them, to feel them, to learn from them. There's information in the emotions. That moves us forward on this path, this evolutionary path. Tribal Spirit Dancer, card meaning, let go, say yes to life, be daring, dance to your heart's desire, unfurl your wings and fly, cast aside conventions and restrictions, cast aside limitations to your information, to your knowledge. Tune into the rhythm of life, laugh, explore, go beyond your predictable behavior. Sometimes life is messy and chaotic, and that is okay. Leave the dishes, run outside in the sprinklers. Your native spirit wants you to know you are on this planet to be free. You don't always need to meet the expectations of others. In fact, where is my little statement about that? Hang on. Hold, please. Little sticky note. You don't have to do what's expected, just what you're called to do. That was one of my downloads that I got. You don't have to do what's expected, just what you're called to do. Let's see. Of course there are... You're here to explore, expand, and step into your extraordinary self. Of course there are times to live an ordinary life, but there are also times to joyously fling your arms to the heavens and dance. Choose life on your terms. Clear out mental and emotional clutter. Move beyond those situations that you have outgrown. Don't accept the rules you have placed on yourself or that others have placed on you. This is your time. Don't delay listening to the rhythm of your heart and following your dreams. The journey. Turn on music and move. Music is a major healing force. All of the arts are. All of the arts are. Notice what you're called to. Are you called to visual arts? Are you called to music? What are you called to? Are you called to nature? Nature is art on the hoof. Tribal dance isn't about looking good. It's about feeling the beat inside your heart and expressing this with your body and your emotions. If you want to break free, then start first by expressing yourself wild and free, and the circumstances of your life will transform. Tribal spirit dancer. So I have to tell you a funny with regard to that. My friend Kayleen and I had a conversation, and she was talking about there having been posted on a website in her local area an invitation to an ecstatic dance opportunity. And Kayleen loves ecstatic dance. Yes, this is your time. And she said one of the first comments listed in the feed is basically a "what the hell is this?" Someone not understanding what ecstatic dance was. And we all know that it's the word ecstatic that caused that response, right? What the hell is this? When you look at little kids and they are truly enjoying themselves and they're doing the things that alter their consciousness, whether they're spinning in circles until they fall down, whether they're swinging on the swing, whether they're singing at the top of their lungs, whatever they're doing, they're really getting into their body. They're embodying what we're talking about here. They're living it. We, the adults, need to get back to living it. And part of the way that we're going to be doing that is not through being the slaves to obligation and demands on our time and energy, not doing what's expected, just doing what we're called to do. Do you truly listen to what you're called to do? I've been called lately to be near water. Lots of be near water and moving water. Not so much lakes at this point, but rivers, streams, creeks, all of that kind of stuff. What are you being called to do? Can you listen? Take a moment here. Close your eyes, not Jo Neal because she's driving. Take a breath. And I want you to ask, what am I being called? What am I being called to? And listen. If you'd like to share with us what you heard, what you're being called to, that would be lovely. If you just want to keep it to yourself, that's fine too. If you want to private message me with your call, fabulous. Time to explore that call. Fun. Yes. Make this fun and enjoyable, because fun and enjoyment are from the light. And we are dealing with some heavy, dark stuff right now. But it is being transformed into the light. And I just got pulled to this card. I still have Lakshmi sitting on my desk from before. Notice all the light around her. Notice all the light. We are stepping into the light. So, your mission today, should you choose to accept it, is step into the light. Focus on the light. Think about the light. You're being called to coffee right now. There we go. That is a taking care of the self. That is a listening to the guidance. It may be little things like that. Oh, I need to wash my hair. I need to take a nap. I need to go for a walk. I need to be in nature. I need to pull some weeds. Whatever it is, heed that guidance. and prioritize that guidance. Not, I will work for 5 hours and then I will go do this thing. No, no, no. Do this thing when you're called. I'm going to hold, please. Coffee date. Then I will do whatever else speaks to me. Most of us on this call are of a certain age, and we have more freedom than we had in, say, our 30s and 40s to do the things as we are called to do them. And I believe we, as a cohort, are a powerful force in this process that I'm reading about to you of shifting from the darkness into the light. The more of us who are heeding the call, the more of us who are prioritizing our calls, the more of us who are walking in the light, sharing the light, the easier it's going to be for others to get on board. Let's pave the way. Let's pave the way. So have an awesome Thursday. We'll see you again tomorrow. Remember, you are capable of far more than you think you are. Stay in the light. Bye-bye.